Hey guys, the Langbanger here. So have a new video. Wanted to go over some of the cards that I picked up from the newest, I guess, reprint set. It's the quarter century Stampede, I think is the official name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So I do really enjoy these sets. They have been dropping some bangers to where they're giving you reprints of, semi-recent cards and then old school cards, and then you also have all these different rarity options. So that's really cool. Honestly, myself, I think that I like super rares the best, but not every card was available super, so I just went with platinum secrets for the most part. If someone was super, I got that instead. Quarter century, the secret rares, those are kind of a little too much and kind of just, I don't want to say unneeded, but in my eyes, just extra value. Like some of those are like double the value just to have that little 25th stamp on it. So I'm good on that. But so yeah, I'm just gonna go over. So I did not pick up Metamorphosis yet. I didn't get Oppression, Dust Shoot. I feel like there's one more kind of old school card, and I just wanted to see where the cards were gonna wind up in price, but I did get a lot of the set, so that's pretty cool. So going into extra deck, I got Hunley's, really good reprints. This was like $25 prior to the reprint, so that was a good one. I am starting to do Edison more and more, at least picking up cards and building decks just to have ready for when tournaments come up. So this was very nice. I would have liked to see Fultrol in the set just because that card's like $10 for any copy now. So, that may just go up over time. And that's just something I don't ever really want to see. I mean, it's one thing if a card has a real special version, and then that would make sense to kind of have that be of value, but we should also have cheap versions of every card. So that's really cool. I did get a Shooting Quasar. I don't know exactly what format this was big in, but I kind of figured why not just get one and have it. Crimson Dragon, so this is a newer card. This was also, I think, like a $20 card, and I'm like, hey, why not? I think it sees play in Blue Eyes, maybe a few other decks. I did get a Zelantis. Can't remember if I had one of these or not, but I mean, it was a super, so why not? Raging Phoenix, so right out the get-go, this was one of the cards that I wanted to get right away. This was one of the first cards that they announced for a reprint, like months back, and I was like, hell yeah. I don't want to say it was up solely because of like Fire Kings, but like the original version, it's like, come on, like Salamangreat really wasn't doing well. And I don't know, that was like, I think it was at least 20, if not 30 or 40 bucks. And I'm just like, why? I don't get it. So that's cool. I did get some Typhoons. This was also a really good reprint. I mean, this one at least made sense. You throw it in almost every extra deck, or, you have the ability to, just really good effect. So why not? I did get 3 Zenmaity, Zen mains. I got a Roach. Kind of just a pause there. So the wind-up format, I guess, is starting to pick up steam. I think I was like wind-up. It was Yugioh. I feel like there was a third set. I don't think I was hat format, but it was like close around there. So I just wanted to get the cards kind of just to have it. Roach, I mean, that's always a card you can throw in your extra deck, even in today's game, but like the further back you go, the more playable it is. I did get Big Eyes. I already owned this card, but why not? Dragon Roller format, if that kind of ever picks up. I know how big this was in that. If Rabbit format gets big, I did end up picking Dolkas and Logias up. I do have a lot of the dinosaur stuff too for, current advanced formats, but that deck really isn't relevant. I was talking about Yugioh, so I got 3 Gigan X. I got an Invoker. I don't know if this was the first reprint in a while, but I know there was a point to where this was just kind of money for, I don't want to say no reason. I mean, the card's good, but Those were the extra deck stuff that I picked up. I don't think I'm really missing anything, like anything else I want to, pick up. I did get 3 of the cluster. I'm not going to try and say the full name. So this is an Edison card. Even, I was originally playing in the Edison format, and I had no idea really this was a deck. And now here we are, like, 15 years later. And then it's like, oh, this is actually a pretty good and viable deck. And the original print card, there's only like one ever. I think it was like Crimson Crisis or maybe Ancient Prophecy. It was like 20, 30, maybe even $40. And I don't want to say why. I understand why, but that's why you have to like jump in and give us a reprint of kind of a card every now and then. So I did get Mystic Pipers. That was really never good. I mean, I remember I used to own the secret rares. Like, it was like a cool card, and you could do like a Piper deck and the other level 1 that you would use with it. But why not just get it? Because I think it was only secret rare until this, so why not? I did get Quims. This was in the tins, I think. I never ended up getting that. If so, why not? I like fusion decks, so I think at this point I just need like Albions. Then I have the full deck for that. So I did get some boards. Of course, gotta get some board. So the last set, Rarity Collection 3, what was that? The Bonanza. We ended up getting like Mobius, Caius, Ryza, Thestalos, and Grandmark. I missed my boy Grandmark, so had to continue with the tradition and get it. Perez as well. Perez isn't as popular, but he's been in just goofy OTK decks. I mean, technically you can use this in like today's Monarch deck and pop your own cards and draw, so like there is merit, and since I own all the other Monarchs, pretty much why not? I did get Needleworm. I was very happy about this. And then actually too with, I think it was Rarity 3 where we got Morphing Jar. I think at first I only bought 1 and then they put it to 2, and I think Jar might be at 3 now. So technically I guess we got a full out deck. So even though like Effect Veiler and Imperm's crazy, probably Drone Lock like probably stops you in a way too, but you have ways to flip your own cards down when they target. I don't know if there's something there. But at least this is another one of those cards, like the further back you go, maybe the more playability it has. I mean, we have 3 Morphing Jar number 2. We have 3 Book of Moon. Book of Tayo is never, limited. We do have 1 card destruction, but I don't know. There could be something there. 3 Majesty Fiend. I don't want to say I fear for this card, but if this card or something in the new Morganite deck ends up getting banned, I'll be upset, because I've loved Tribute Stun. I've loved Monarchs for years, or even like a decade plus now, and that was really cool. They reprinted that. I mean, it wasn't needed, but I mean, it's a nice little, bling upgrade, so why not? I did get Eclipse Wyvern. Maybe someday this will be back. Maybe someday we will have like the old Dragon format from the starter deck, or the structure deck. I mean, that was really fun with Light Pulsar and Red Eyes Metal and Dark Flare and all that. So that was like Dragon format with like Wind Up, and I forget what else was it. Maybe X Sabers was in that format. That was a really fun format. 3 Card D, that's just one of those, for degenerate decks. Another one of those, go further back in time and it gets better and better, or more use, so it's pretty much unplayable now, but what can you do? I did get 2 Zephyros. Again, why not? Further back you go, the more playable it is. 3 Bountiful Artemis. This was really cool. So, I don't want to say counter trap decks have always been bad. I mean, they've been inconsistent and kind of just to bank on kind of 1 card once you draw it and then you start to go, you kind of get to keep going. I have always loved that sort of like deck, but I understand, why it's not consistent. Had to get that. Those were the monsters on the spells. I did get 3 Fang of Critias. So I like all these cards. When they, came out and they were for what, the Legendary Dragons or whatever. I got this just, cool little upgrade. I have used this in decks before. Definitely not good or broken, but cool nostalgia. 3 Night Beam, old school kind of, side staple or tech. I don't really think it's seen play in quite a number of years now, but why not? Necker Valley. This might be deemed as like the card with the most erratas ever. It's kind of like the running joke, but had to get 3 of that. Definitely for like old school, like even GOAT formats. I have stuff for that. Edison, I don't recall if Gravekeepers were playable, but those were some of the spells. Onto the traps. Decree, just one of your everyday sort of, side staples, or, goes in and out of formats. Why not? Transaction rollback, this was in the tin. Just got an even easier version. I mean, the way I kind of look at it, if I'm not playing advanced formats on a weekly basis, I really don't need to go out and buy the cards when they're at their hype prices and all that. So I'll generally just wait like 6 months to a year. The card's probably going to be reprinted and I'm going to have an easier version. So 3 Ring of Destruction, crazy. This is at 3 now. It is errated. But definitely, the further back you go in time, GOAT format, and, there's been other, formats that's playable, why not? Kind of same for Dimension Wall too. I mean, Chain Burn is so degenerate, but also though too, I end up picking nostalgia stuff up. Breakthrough Skill, that definitely had its heyday as well. I don't know if I was Rabbit format or kind of others, but kind of cool to get multiple uses out of that. 3 Gotham's Emergency Call. I was happy on this because even like commons of this, I think was like $7-8. I was starting to go up, so nice little reprint. I did get some Deep Prisons. Another, kind of Edison sort of staple, or, good for multiple formats. And then I did get Karma Cuts, just another old school card. You also never know when some will come back into the advanced format. I mean, you could kind of just shock someone by using something and they, weren't expecting it or planning for it. So why not just pick up cards while they're cheap? So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. You should be seeing some Edison content coming from me. Gonna build a couple decks and showcase them. But until then, I will talk to you then. Peace.